It is a moonless night on the East African savanna 50,000 years ago. A small band of humans lies asleep on bare ground. No walls, no weapons in hand, no one keeping a fire fed. Lions are hunting less than a kilometer away, hyenas closer than that, leopards higher up in the trees, watching. By every rule of nature, these people should be dead by morning. You are alive right now because they survived that night and the 7 million nights before it. And the strangest part is what kept them alive. It was not strength, it was not speed, it was not luck. It was something you still do every single night without knowing why. Your sleep is the reason. The way you sleep, the hours you sleep, the people you sleep near, the way you wake when a door creaks at 3 a.m., all of it was shaped by something stalking the edge of the firelight. Think about how absurd human sleep should be. You lie down, you go unconscious. For 7 or 8 hours, your reflexes drop, your hearing dulls, your muscles soften, you cannot run, you cannot fight, you cannot even see. In any other species, this would be a death sentence in open country. Antelopes sleep for minutes at a time. Giraffes sleep standing up in bursts of 30 seconds. Dolphins sleep with one half of their brain still awake while the other half keeps watch. Even ducks sleep with one eye open when the edge of the flock is exposed to the dark. But you go all the way under, for hours, every single night of your life. So how did our ancestors survive long enough to become us? In a world full of leopards, hyenas, and saber-toothed cats, how did a soft, slow, unconscious primate make it through the night? Not once, not for a season, for millions of years. The answer turns out to be one of the strangest evolutionary stories in our species, and it begins with a hunter-gatherer group in northern Tanzania. In 2017, anthropologist David Samson and evolutionary biologist Samson Nunn traveled to the Hadza, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer societies on Earth. The Hadza still sleep the way our ancestors did, in open camps under the stars, surrounded by the same predators that hunted humans in the Pleistocene. No tents, no doors, no locks, no alarms. Samson and Nunn fitted 33 Hadza adults with sleep-tracking devices. For 20 straight days, they recorded who was sleeping, who was awake, and at what hour. What they found rewrote the history of human sleep. Across more than 200 hours of observation, there were only 18 minutes in total when every single adult in the camp was asleep at the same time. 18 minutes out of 20 days. The rest of the time, someone somewhere in the group was awake, not on guard duty, not assigned, just awake. The older adults stirred before dawn. The younger ones stayed up past midnight. The middle-aged slept in the deep heart of the night. The group, without planning it, without speaking of it, covered every hour of darkness with at least one pair of open eyes. The idea is simple and almost beautiful. Across human evolution, the variation in your sleep schedule, the fact that your grandfather wakes at 5 and your cousin stays up until 2, is not a flaw, it is a defense. The night owl in your family is not broken, they are a sentinel without a watch. The early riser is not virtuous, they are taking the dawn shift their ancestors took on a savanna that no longer exists. But sentinels alone do not explain it, because even with one person awake, lions still came, hyenas still circled. A single watcher cannot stop a pride, so our ancestors built a second shield, the fire. In 2012, researchers excavating Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa found ash, charred bone, and scorched plant matter sealed in sediment 1 million years old. Controlled fire, used by early humans long before us, long before we were even fully human. Richard Wrangham, a biological anthropologist at Harvard, argues that fire did something for our ancestors that nothing else in nature could. It pushed back the night. Lions today still avoid an active flame, so do leopards, so do hyenas. A campfire turns a defenseless sleeping band into a glowing fortress that no big cat wants to test. The flame creates a perimeter that the dark side of evolution refuses to cross. For at least 400,000 years, maybe longer, our ancestors went to sleep wrapped in a ring of light. Fire kept the cold out, fire kept predators back, and fire bought us something we had never had before: deep, uninterrupted, all the way down sleep. Which is when the third change happened. Human sleep itself began to shrink. In a 2018 study, Samson compared sleep across primates. Chimpanzees sleep 9 to 10 hours a night. Orangutans almost 11, macaques 10.5, baboons between 9 and 10. Humans average just 7. And our sleep is not only shorter, it is denser. We spend a far higher percentage of the night in REM, the deepest, most restorative stage, than any other primate. We compress what other apes do in 11 hours into 7, and we get more out of it. And then the final layer, we stop sleeping alone. We came down from the trees where our ancestors had built nightly nests of bent branches for millions of years, and we made camp on the ground. We slept in circles, children in the middle, elders next, strongest adults on the perimeter, bodies arranged like a living wall. Sleep stopped being something you did by yourself. It became something the group did together, a shared act performed in shifts, paid for in vigilance, and bodies kept warm by other bodies. And here's where the story turns. For most of human history, the question was not how do you sleep safely. The question was how does the group sleep safely? Your unconsciousness was only possible because someone else was conscious. Your rest was held in place by another body's wakefulness. We did not survive predators by becoming stronger than them. We did not outrun them. We did not outfight them. We survived by becoming the first species to make sleep a social act. Sleep for us is not individual. It never was. The bed you lie in tonight is the youngest part of a contract that was signed 300,000 years ago, a contract written in firelight and shift work and bodies pressed close on cold ground. And that is why you sleep the way you do now. Notice what happens when you sleep alone in a hotel room. You wake more often, you sleep lighter, your dreams are stranger. Sleep researchers call it the first night effect, and one hemisphere of your brain literally stays more alert than the other, the way a dolphin sleeps. Your body has not forgotten that solo sleep in an unknown place is the most dangerous kind. Notice what happens when your partner gets out of bed at 3 in the morning. You wake too, not because of the noise, because some part of you has been tracking their breathing all night and the rhythm broke. A sentinel deep in your brain noticed the watch had ended. And notice this, rates of insomnia are highest among people who live alone. Loneliness does not just make you sad, it makes you sleep badly. Because for 300,000 years, sleeping alone meant something was wrong. Your body still believes the group is the wall between you and the dark. Somewhere out there tonight, on the same earth that held those sleeping ancestors, the band is still asleep on the savannah. Most of them anyway. One pair of eyes is open, watching, not afraid, just awake, the fire burning low, the dark held back one more night by an arrangement older than language, older than memory, older than us. And somewhere in your sleeping brain, a sentinel is still on watch. It never got the message that the lions are gone.